Because Pedro Martinez never closed the game a day in his life. He was one of the best starting pitchers of all time. So you can tell your tag partner, at least it wasn't a botch like at least I mispronounced his name. Steve I didn't say anything bad.
You know what? Steve Harvey probably did that on purpose.
Knowing him, I tweeted
he is
him
a comedian.
I tweeted him like, he was never a closer.
You're like, listen, he's not closing.
He's not closing anytime soon. So which one's your favorite tag partner?
I love them both. But like, so with Davion, they kind of both happened by accident. But with Davion, I kind of asked to be his tag team partner. So we had a match against Che and Rico, and I really enjoyed the match. The match went awesome. This was in Covina, probably November.
Did you go, Veronica? Could you go to all the EW?
I go to everything.
Oh, excuse me. What did you think of the match? Don't feel pressure just because they're here. Come on, what did you think of the match?
Don't put me on the spot.
She probably
thumbs up or
remember.
thumbs down?
Let's just say
we'll do it off the air. Okay.
We'll say thumbs in the middle.
It's all good. She gave you an all good. Off
After,
the air, when you leave, she'll say all bad. No, I'm just kidding.
She'll tell me how shitty it was. I'd be like, you know what? I can see it. It was Davion's fault.
Yeah, just blame it on him. But, if he messes up again, I'll call him Davion.
After the match with Hate, I told Jake that I really liked working with Davion as a partner, and if he wanted to run with us for a while as a team, just because Davion is he's really, at least with me and in the locker room, he's really reserved. He's really quiet. I don't even think he's had 20 matches yet, but the dude is a fucking rock star. He's like Jesse Hernandez is putting him out like nobody's business. There's a reason why Jesse's one of the best trainers in the entire country. But Davion, he listens. He does what he's supposed to do. He's athletic as all hell. He's super nice. He's humble. He works really hard. And he's good at what he does. He's a big man, moves like a big man, powerful like a big man. Like the dude has so much energy in the ring, so much natural charisma that you usually don't see from people that young. Because I think he might be 19.
Wow.
I think he's a 19-year-old. So he's extremely young, but the dude has a future like nobody else. Especially if he just sticks on the straight and narrow, Jesse's going to lead him to where he needs to go, things of that nature. With Royce is the complete opposite. Royce has probably had hundreds upon hundreds of matches. Royce has had tours in Japan. Royce wrestled all around the country. Like, Royce is a veteran's veteran. And the dude, like, when he and I, Royce Isaacs and I team up in Vegas called the 1%. Davion and I do not have a tag team name. So if anyone wants to give us some tag team suggestions, we are completely open to listening to anything. Because right now, I think they called us Leg Day All Day at the last EWF show, which I'm all for. I just don't think it's great for a tag team name. It's a great
catchphrase. But...
Exactly. I'll put it on a shirt.
Yeah.
I won't use it as a tag team name. But with Royce Isaacs and I, the 1%, and Marty the Moth is also part of the 1%. But it started off with Royce Isaacs and I. The first show we were on together, we just like clicked like that. Like we found out we were teaming up, and we just got along super well. We usually ride together. Douglas James, Royce Isaacs, and I usually all ride together up to Vegas because we're usually all in most of the FSW shows. And so, like with Royce, it was super easy. Our chemistry in the ring is just natural. We call ourselves the 1% because we want to be the 1% of professional wrestling. We want to be in the top 1% of how we look. We want to be in the top 1% of how we work. We want to be in the top 1% of getting crowd reactions. Yeah. And so that's where the name the 1% comes from. Although Royce Isaacs just posted a picture on Instagram that is Brazersworthy, or Brazersworthy, however the hell you pronounce it. And
See,
I was like,
I'm not the only one today.
And I was like, bro,
I don't know what it's called. I've never been on that website. No,
I don't even know what's Brazers. Fidel said that Brazers logo needs to be there, by the way, if you want to put names to it. And I was like, dude, the 1% doesn't mean like the amount of clothes you have on.
Yeah.
Like, keep some fucking clothes on. But it's different. Like in the tag team with Davion and I, like I'm leading him. I'm having to use my experience and things that I know to help him come along. But with the tag team with Royce Isaacs and myself, it's almost like I'll ask Royce Isaacs like different things and things of that nature because he's done more than I have and he's worked longer than I have. But we also work really well as a unit and we gel off each other really well. And so being in both those tag teams, I really enjoy. Royce Isaacs and I are actually going up against the Bonus Boys next weekend, February 23rd, part of the Las Vegas Toy Con. We'll be at Circus with Future Stars of Wrestling going up against the Bonus Boys for the FSW Tag Team Championships. So hopefully, if I'm ever allowed on the show again after the 100 cuss words I've said, I'll have both this
fine.
one and the FSW Championship next to me. But I was always a singles guy almost my entire career.
Yeah.
There was a stint in Oregon where I was in a tag team, but it wasn't anything serious. But I'm enjoying where I'm at with these two tag teams right now. They're both two different ventures that I really enjoy, especially with two promotions that I really love. EWF, which was part of my start in SoCal, and then Future Stars of Wrestling with Royce Isaacs, where it's kind of becoming my second home. So EWF is my home promotion in California, and then outside of California, like Future Stars of Wrestling is my second home. Like that locker room is one of the best locker rooms I've ever been a part of in all my years of wrestling. That everyone gets along, everyone's hungry, everyone wants to do better than everyone else, but in a competitive way. There's little angst going on in the locker room, which makes it worth going to those shows and being in that locker room and just gelling with everybody. So,
is my boy still up there, Jacob Austin?
Jacob Austin Young, he sure is.
Still up there?
I almost
I call him the Madonna of wrestling.
The Madonna of wrestling
because he's had more looks than we've had him on a podcast. I go, man, I was doing my research on you. I go, you're the Madonna of wrestling because he changes it up like every 2 years.
JAY is still there,
yes.
part of the Strong South Squad.
Okay.
With I'm going blank.
Is it the real skinny guy? He's a real small.
Jody the
guy.
wrestler.
Yeah.
He's part of the Strong South Squad.
Yeah, there we go.
Jace Battle. There we go.
Well,
oh, good God Almighty.
And Suede's still up there, right?
Suede is FSW's golden child. Although Chris Bay might be taking that spot.
Oh.
Chris Bay might as well be the Roman Reigns of Future Stars of Wrestling. But before everyone hated Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Okay.
This is when everyone loved Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And whatever.
So in other words, when he was in the Shield.
Yes, except for Chris Bay's doing it by himself,
Yeah.
so everyone loves Chris Bay there. But Suede is probably the most popular guy on that roster, and I love Suede as well. Suede and I get along really well. I know there's some people out there that think Suede like kind of rubs people the wrong way, but everyone's an individual, and not everyone's going to be the exact same. And I feel like if people stop having these expectations on how people are supposed to be in their head, then a lot of people can get along a lot better. So I'm very open to like people being original or being different or just being themselves. And Suede definitely walks to the beat of his own drum. And if it pisses people off, it pisses people off. But Suede and I get along really well. I still owe him like $20 for our fantasy football league. I beat him twice. I ended his undefeated streak at like 7-0 in the fantasy football league, and then played him again the very last week before playoffs started.
Right.
So I'm 2-0 against Sway Thompson in fantasy football. Come the playoffs, the semifinals, I beat Swade. I'm in the finals. This motherfucker wipes the floor with my squad. Of course, the only game where it actually matters.
Right.
Swade beats me and goes on and wins the entire thing.
So that's why he wants his $20.
I think he owes, or everyone in the league still owes some money. We were all supposed to put money in. I don't know if anyone put money in.
Hey, before we wrap up real quick, were you going for the Eagles or the Patriots? Mind you, we might have a Patriots fan in here.
It's okay because I'm about to make her very happy.
Okay.
I am 100% all in on anyone with as great of a career as Tom Brady. And I am so sick and tired of people saying Tom Brady is not the greatest quarterback of all time. And yes, Dan Joseph, I am looking at you because this man started a war on Facebook the days leading up to the Super Bowl saying Tom Brady wasn't the GOAT. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. And if he didn't prove it his entire career, he proved it last year coming back 28-3. And so this year in the Super Bowl, I wanted Tom Brady to whoop the Eagles' ass, get his 6th ring, and just say F you to every person that's ever said Tom Brady isn't the GOAT.
I was a Joe Montana guy, but I guess I won't mention that.
Joe Montana can lace Tom Brady's cleats, okay? Joe Montana is great. Football, I love football. Joe Montana is not better than Tom
I
Brady.
ain't going to argue with you because I don't know football. You're a football guy. I'll let you.
How you gonna
handle
throw
that.
out Joe Montana then if you're not a
I
football?
was a big.
You're that
I
fake
was a
sport.
big,
You're that fake sport fan.
I was
huh?
a
With
Kansas City-
with baseball.
I love. Hey.
Hey.
The hardest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball. Proven.
I think the hardest thing to do is try and be a running back and run through Ray Lewis.
It might be, but I think the hardest thing in sports, honest to God, I was telling her, I think hitting a baseball is probably one of the hardest things because you have to face a guy that's throwing you a
You know
pitch
what?
at
I
95 miles per hour. It is not very easy.
I believe it in
Yeah.
my very, very short baseball career from 7th grade to 9th grade. I probably hit one ball.
But to me, it's like we were watching the game. I don't really watch football just because growing up, no one taught me the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't. Only reason I know Joe, I'll tell you why I like Joe Montana right
All right,
now.
let's see it.
My uncles were big football guys,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't have a really good relationship growing up. But every Sunday was Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders. So the Chiefs were like their number one arch enemy.
Yeah.
So I would always cheer for the Chiefs.
You just want to be
beat 'em.
the troubled child.
Yeah, I was like, beat them. So I would love it. So with Joe Montana, I knew he was a 49er, and
Yeah.
I think in the early 90s he ended up being a Kansas City Chief.
Yeah, I think so.
So when he went to the Chiefs, I loved it. He would just stick it to my uncles, and I loved it. So when they won the Super Bowl, it's like
I always
happiest guy
forget
in the
that
world.
Joe Montana played with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I always forget that.
I love him. When he was a 49er, I was like, oh, yes, just stick it to my uncle, please. But growing up, I was a baseball guy, and I was telling her that I don't get why people say, I guess baseball is boring because it's slow, but I was watching the Super Bowl, I'm like, it's almost just as slow.
You're gonna. What is going on
No,
here?
compared to
That was-
basketball, it's like-
What was that? That was the second highest scoring Super Bowl of all time.
Oh, no, that was a great Super, but I'm saying like the length of the game was long. I was like, God, it's long because of all the timeouts but I get it. I mean, it was
Would you
exciting
rather?
to last.
Would you rather watch funny? Well, I know what your answer is going to be. To me, when it comes to Super Bowl, I'd rather watch funny commercials and a great halftime show by my boy JT instead of strike, ball, strike.
I was a pitcher, okay?
I'm just saying, my best friend was a pitcher, and when I was up at bat, he purposely threw the ball at my head.
Oh, damn.
So-
That's no. You see,
That was,
That's
the
what
day I started hating baseball.
happened. You know what though? I was telling her that I thought the hardest thing to do was hockey, trying to ice skate and hit that puck. But I kind of get it where they say a baseball because you're actually waiting for that
Yeah.
ball to go. Well, in hockey, you don't actually have to hit the puck.
You got to chase that motherfucker
Yeah,
around
exactly.
on some skates.
But football is like I said, I wouldn't want no 400-pound guy coming after my ass either, knocking my ass on the ground. There was a lot of wrestling moves there in the Super Bowl.
The
More than
the
on Monday
spine
Night
buster
Raw.
countered spine counted into a power bomb. I saw that. That was insane.
But overall, you know what? Not to get off, but the last play of the Super Bowl,
The Hail Mary?
I thought we both sat there and were like, if he would have made that, I go,
Yo,
oh,
I was
my God.
hoping the football gods would come in just for one more time this season and give us the craziest play of all time, but it didn't happen.
That would have been.
That boy Nicky Foles balled out, and then the city of Philadelphia partied like I had never seen before.
But you know what? Give the coach credit. He had,
He had the
balls.
cojones.
Yeah. Because some of those plays, I was like, what are you? And I don't know football, but I was like,
But you knew those were like big time plays.
Yeah, I coached my son's flag football team, and I knew on fourth down, go for it.
You're like, I would have gone up.
I would have been like,
not against the greatest of all time.
Exactly. But then again, why not? He's
Yeah,
the greatest of
exactly.
all time. So, where can everybody see you coming up?
Next weekend is Future Stars of Wrestling at Circus for the Las Vegas Toy Con. So it's going to be all 3 days. February 23rd, 24th, and 25th at Circus. The Friday and Saturday shows are 6 p.m. And then I believe the Sunday show is the 12 p.m. because WWE is running
Oh, yes.
Elimination Chamber that day in Las Vegas. So they're trying to get everybody out before that. So I'll be there next weekend. I have EWF coming up in March 17th.
I might actually make my debut that day.
Every first Friday of every month besides March is always EWF at the EWF Arena in Covina, California. So you can always catch me there. We have Future Stars of Wrestling's the Mecca 2 with an insane